say, silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known, would have kept me from the one I had today.
Song that I heard for the first time at the Kilgore Session Bluegrass Festival coming up the 15th, 16th, I think it's third weekend in May. We'll talk more about that later on. But what's going on 1 street over from where you're living? Well, Snowmageddon. This is 1100 WSGI. Terry Martin's in the house, and I just am so thankful that you came in to see me. And he's like, "Why am I here, LaVern?" He goes, "This is our slow season. What's going on?" And I'm like, "Well, I just thought if I don't talk to you for a little bit, I feel like I need to check in with Terry and just see what's going on." Yeah. And kind of it's kind of fun to talk to people when they're not so busy. I'll get Caleb Strand in here from Wildlife Resources, and when it's not boating season, he's like, "Yeah, what do you want to talk about?" He's just a little more chill. Yeah. Boating season. He had a kayaking accident like a few weeks ago, and he gets the call, and he's like, "You got to be kidding me." He's like, somebody's, gotten stuck up somewhere in a kayak. He's like, "It's February. Yeah. It may be in January still." And he does not like boating season. Those wildlife guys do not like boating season. But no, I just wanted to have you come in and just say, okay, where are we? What's going on? I know I've talked to Ryan a little bit about your cousin. I know you're no relation, but I like to tease y'all about that. Our city manager. He's talked a little bit about some of the things, and even Buzzy Pool's been in here talking, and about like the playground that I forget which one we're redoing.
Playground 2000.
Playground 2000, how it's being taken out, and that one's being redone, and that's going to be fabulous. We get new bathrooms.
Yes.
All of that, and that's happening at the Martin Luther King Park. Gardner Street Park. See, I knew I was going to get it wrong. Yeah. I'm trying to keep all these things straight in my head. Yeah. So that's at Garner Street. And so we've talked a lot about that with those guys, and maybe we'll touch on that. We've got baseball season just on the on the horizon. Have you already started signing up for baseball?
Sign-ups are over. Drafts are over. Uniforms are being ordered this week.
Wow.
Practice starts next week. Is this last week of March? I mean, the last week of February?
No, we're still in February, buddy. I'm with you. I don't know what day it is. Anyway, my kids, it's going to be crazy when we get to school, because the kids are going to be like, "We're not going to school the rest of the week." Yeah. And I'm like, we'll see.
It's looking like a pretty good chance.
It's looking like a real good chance of it. Yeah. I thought, it's looking pretty good. But anyway, so I didn't realize that y'all start registration. I need to start having you in here really in January when y'all start saying, "Hey, it's time to sign up for baseball." Because when do y'all start that?
January 1st.
Oh, really?
Well,
so that's
January 2nd.
Okay.
I think it might be. Well, no, it might be January 1st now, because we've got the new Civic Rec where you can get online and sign up and everything.
Okay.
Create an account.
Okay. Well, same with my grandkid. He's out in Mount Juliet. I wish they were up here so much. We'd have so much fun up here, and I can't get them up here. She grew up in Mount Juliet. That's her home. So, and they have a great time out there, but he's registering for all this stuff. So I should just kind of keep my eye on what he's doing and go, okay, I need to call Terry. Yeah. That'll kind of give you my gauge. Yeah. Yeah. So
our basketball tournaments start. Last night was our basketball banquet.
Okay.
We do a banquet for all the athletics that we have that we put on. So last night was basketball. Tonight starts the tournament. So we're at the end of the season for basketball.
This is the community basketball. Okay.
Yep. So we'll do that. What is this, Tuesday? We'll do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Monday, I think, too. We got some games. So.
What happens if you get snowed out?
If we get snowed out, we just got to bump it. So we got to bump it. I'm getting the gym floor done the 1st of March, so I don't have too far to bump it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's like today. I'm in charge of the digital sign. We've got our digital sign at Greenbrier High School is not fancy like everybody else's. It's just a digital sign. So everybody's always like, "Well, did you see what they put on that sign?" I'm like, I can't do that. Okay, this is the technology is not there for our sign, but it's a digital sign. So I'm putting the stuff up on there, and I'm like, do I really want to put that there's a prom fashion show on Thursday night? Because I doubt there will be. Do I really want to put that the FAFSA meeting is going to be on Thursday Thursday afternoon? 'Cause I doubt there will be.
Yep.
You know, just in my head, I'm
Weather
going,
permitting and
yeah, you know,
parentheses.
because I'm going, So I just put we've got, because district tournaments county-wide are starting this week for the kiddos, you know, Roberts, because we're involved, we're playing Portland Wednesday, our Bobcats are, so that's starting up too. And then we've got wrestling state tournament Friday, which
Okay.
hopefully we'll still get to do, but we've got a bunch of wrestlers going from like 7 or 8 that are going to state. So
Okay.
all of that's going on. So that's kind of where we're at right now. All the winter sports are kind of coming to that place where it's tournament time. Let's get this done. So same thing with you guys. How many teams do y'all have basketball wise that are county team or city or is it city, or how's that work? Kind of like the
It's
same with baseball, or
well, in basketball, it's city or county. Anybody that wants to come and play in our league can.
Mhm.
And we had 26 teams this year.
Wow.
25, 24
Wow.
or 26.
Really?
Yeah.
What ages?
Ages 4 to 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we have the ability at the center on our side goals to drop them down to 8 foot.
Okay.
So for the little guys, we drop them on down to 8 foot, and then we move up an age group, and that's 7 through 9, and we put them to 9 foot, and
Okay.
then 10 through 13, we put them at 10 foot.
Okay. That's interesting because I don't really know how the structure is because my grandson played, and I know, so they kind of end up being from all over, right?
Yeah, and
You know,
in
and not necessarily the same school. Like some of them might
No.
play together, or you
Yeah.
know.
in basketball and soccer, and football, there's no boundaries.
Okay.
You know, so if you want to come and play in our league, you can come play in our league.
Okay.
If you want to go play in another league, you can go play in another league.
Okay.
Baseball and softball, the umbrella that we play under is Diamond Youth Baseball
Okay.
and Diamond Youth Softball. So there's boundaries involved there, little rules that they have. You're still permitted to go somewhere and play, but
Mhm.
if you don't live inside that boundary and you go somewhere else and play, you're not qualified for All-Stars.
Okay. Okay. I got you. It's like that's the thing. They're baseball boy. They don't play. It's like it's they have a lot more rules because they do have those tournaments that go beyond the area, right?
In 2020, what is this? In 2022, I think it was, our numbers really jumped up, and
Mhm.
we've held that now. So, and then if some of these neighborhoods go up in Springfield,
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're talking about, you know,
It's gonna be
Ryan
crazy.
and I have had that discussion before. We're looking for anybody's got any land out there they want to donate to the city of Springfield Parks. We're
Gonna need it
wide open.
for baseball and things like that.
Everything,
Anything.
everything. Because
Okay.
we're just basketball. Our rec center's maxed out,
Yeah.
so we're needing another recreation center. And Ryan understands that. He knows that. But all of our facilities, police
Mhm.
department, water department, gas department, all of our facilities are outdated and need some.
Well, we talked to Ryan a lot about that, and Ryan's set to come in here tomorrow. Again, weather permitting. I don't have any. I imagine I'll be here unless I just can't get down the road because I live 2 miles away. I'll get my Yankee to drive me in. I'll have my Stormy Comer hat on. We'll do all that. We're gonna be really disappointed if we don't get this snow tonight. I think all of us gonna be like, "Dang it, we gotta go to work."
Yeah, that's one thing I just don't even look into it no more because
Yeah, it's
I've heard so many times we're
Yeah.
getting it and you wake up next morning, it's not there.
Well, when that last one came through, Bill Jones and I were sitting in here talking, and we were all kind of going, I don't know, that temperature is just that hover. Because can you imagine if we had cold temperatures this weekend, what kind of snow we'd had?
Yeah.
Good heavens.
We're always on that line.
Yeah. And so that's kind of the thing. There's a line, but boy, it sure looks like, because we're hitting 35 for the high today at about 3, and that snow's not moving in until this evening
Yeah.
and continuing. And it doesn't look like we're getting into the realms of thawing until the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dr. Weeks. What do
Yeah.
you think? What's school going to do? He's like, shut up, LaVern.
Yeah.
Shut up, shut up, shut up. Don't
Well,
start rumors.
It's funny, we've got new members at the center now that are from out of state.
Yeah.
That have moved here from north and stuff, and they'll come in and everybody's in the lobby just talking about 4 inches, and they just look at everybody like, what's wrong with y'all?
Well, and you just tell them though that those northerners that think there's ice down here that you don't get necessarily. You have traction up north that we don't get sometimes. So, because my husband has gotten in trouble a little bit on the ice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was saying, you better be careful. Better not
Be
talk
safe.
too much. Better not talk too much. We're talking with Terry Martin. He is our directors of parks and recreation, or exactly what is your title? I always have to ask. You're director of parks?
I'm the parks guy.
You're the parks guy. Did you ever watch Parks and Rec? I keep telling you.
I have watched
you
a
need
couple
to watch it, man.
episodes
You
of that.
so need to.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I have watched.
I just, because I
we line up with that sometimes.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I love that show. It just cracks me up. But when I got to know you, I thought, oh yeah, he's a Parks and Rec guy. Okay, let's just jump off. Let's just jump off on a completely different topic since we're in here and we don't have anything set we have to talk about. Hollywood, what happened with the movie? Did they ever release the movie that you were in? What happened with that?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you.
He was in a movie that they shot here, and we just kept expecting it to come out. And all of a sudden, I've kind of forgotten about it until just right now. And I was like, oh, yeah, what happened with the movie? And there's just been nothing.
I had a person probably about 2 months ago that I ran into, and they said, hey, I looked up that movie, and I seen your name down there as one of the actors in that movie. And he said, I was just wondering when or where it's coming out. And he said it was supposed to be on a certain, can't remember, not, it's a certain network.
I'm really going to be disappointed if we don't get to see that movie. I was looking forward to that.
A certain network that's supposed to use it that just has been created, and they're going to use it.
Okay. Well, we may eventually.
Mans is the director. Who's got some really good movies out there.
Yeah.
And they said they were going to use that movie as their lead for this new network.
Okay.
I don't know
eventually.
a lot about it.
Well, let us know.
I don't keep in touch with them. And
So, and if you're new, he got grabbed. They're like, hey, you need to play this role. And he just kind of got recruited. And there you go. And we've been, teasing him about being Hollywood. But then,
Springfield Crooked Cop.
There you go. This was so out of character. It's like, what? But
it's fun.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Well, I've gotten to play around in some of that stuff, with different, because they did a fitness show out at our house with Jillian Michaels back in those days, and that was a trip. That was a lot of fun. So it's fun, and I worked in television for a couple of years out in Dallas, but it's different. It's seeing the behind the scenes thing. There's a lot to it, man.
Have you seen the movie Ride, about the bull rider?
Yeah, well, I haven't watched it. Our kiddo Alex Maddox, he graduated early from Greenbrier, and he was one of my AV kids, my audio video production kids. He was pulled to be. They had him kind of standing by as like the grandson, and he was supposed to be in it. They had him signing posters at something, and then it didn't make it to the screen. Oh, I was so disappointed.
I watched it. I was flipping the other night, and there was a scene. The two guys were in a truck.
Yeah.
And I was just looking, and I thought, man, that looks like our square.
Yeah, it was.
And it was.
Yeah.
And it was all filmed up there.
Yeah.
And it was like recently.
Yeah.
Like in 22 or 23.
It was last year, because I know that Alex missed some school.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, how much of it was being filmed up there.
Yeah, and because Miss Elmore, she was like, you need to tell Alex he needs to get to class, because she knew he was in my program, and I was like, I know he's missing. And he's like, yeah, he's missing a lot, and she teaches like biology and the EOC stuff that you have to be tested on. I'm like, I know, but he graduated now, but yeah,
Town really looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good.
I need to watch it. I kind of didn't watch it because they cut Alex's part out, and I was so disappointed because I was so excited for him because he loves all that stuff. And when it didn't make it to the final cut, I was like, well, phooey. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not even going to watch it. Yeah. So, but but that's the way it goes. I mean, it's incredible what they film. What they record, if they don't film anything anymore, y'all. They really don't. But what they record versus what actually makes it is incredible. They spent a week shooting this thing when we did the show with Jillian, and I mean, the things that didn't make it there were so many things that they recorded that never saw the light of day.
Hours and hours of tape, but 1 minute of getting in there.
Absolutely.
The museum, speaking of them coming in next, the museum is the sheriff's office in that movie.
In Ride?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I got to watch it now just for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really obvious that that's our town.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm sure Danny will have something to say about that. He and Janet.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, well, see, that's just it. The premise of it, I thought, was a legitimate storyline. Mm-hmm. So, I watched Leanne Morgan's movie that she's in. You know, the girl from up here in Adams that's comedian. It's Cordially Invited.
Oh, I've heard of
Okay,
that.
okay. Cordially Invited. Leanne Morgan's from Adams, and she's a comedian, and is just soared now. I mean, just taking off like a rocket. And so she's in a movie. She's in that movie Cordially Invited with Reese Witherspoon and who's Elf, the guy from Elf,
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about.
whatever his name is, Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
And so she's in this movie, and when it first came out, there was a lot of bad language in it, and so I couldn't get it to. I have this thing called VidAngel that filters it, and I couldn't get it to filter, so I didn't watch it. And so I finally watched it the other day. I got it to filter, so I didn't have to listen to all the blah, blah, blah. And it's not a good movie.
Oh, it's
It's terrible. It's terrible. I love her.
Yeah.
I love her. And she was probably the funniest thing in it, quite frankly. You know? I mean,
it's
she was
just not
hysterical,
good.
but it was just not a good movie, man. I was like, okay, this is just stupid.
well,
My husband.
Ride's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Sorry, Leanne. You know,
Yeah.
she was great, but anyway, and their language is don't watch it unless you filter it through VidAngel.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Especially if that guy
blankety
from
blank,
Elf,
blank, blank.
Elf or whatever, whenever
Yeah.
he's in it.
Will Ferrell, yeah. Unfortunately, he's,
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, all right, guys. I told him when he sat down. I said, he said, "What are we going to talk about? Anything we want to? That's what we're doing." And so we've talked about Garner Street Park and the anticipation of all that coming in. Remind me of the anticipated date when that's going to be done, because I know I've talked to Ryan and Buzzy about it, but I can't remember what they said.
The playground and the restroom was supposed to start last week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even the week before. But the playground company's got a crew in Nashville right now doing
Okay.
a playground. And as soon as they're done with that, they're coming here. It's just the weather and the rain has
Mm-hmm.
put them on hold there. And then they poured the footer for the restroom and they were fixing to move forward. And then we got all this
All this rain.
and weather come in. So now they're on hold.
Okay.
So everything's a go. We're
Okay.
just waiting to catch a break with the weather.
Yeah, and it doesn't really take as long as you think once they get going.
No. They'll
Yeah.
if we could have which you're not going to this time of year, but let's just say we had 45 days of,
Yeah,
60 days of good weather, they
Yeah.
could probably get both of them done.
yeah, for sure.
Our goal is to be done with everything by May 1st.
Okay, well that's great.
I would
mean,
like
yeah.
for it, and the reason why that date is just because the kids, they're going to start going on their little breaks for school, and
Mhm.
school's coming to an end, and they're doing their little field trips.
Oh yeah,
So I'd like to have it done before then.
that would be great.
Yeah.
that would be great. And because I mean, it's
That's the goal.
as much as we're sitting here looking at snow days this week, before we know it, school will be over. It goes like a rocket
Yep.
after Christmas. That's one thing. As when I started teaching, I was floored
Yeah.
at how quickly we're in spring break. You come back from spring break and you're done.
That's it.
Because I mean, the kids are like, they're just like, they're not in it. And you've got your ELC testing, it just zooms after that. So yeah, you're right. Getting that park ready for the kiddos to come out and do their summer stuff, their end of year stuff, that'd be great.
Pickleball
So,
courts won't be until probably late spring, early summer, just
Okay.
because they're so backed up
okay.
on what they're doing.
Have you taken up pickleball yet?
No.
Your son, though, right?
Oh
He's
yeah,
big in it.
he did. Yeah.
Do you know who surprise pickleball player? You probably don't know. Danny Atchley.
Is he?
Yep. And I only know that because Nelda told me. So
I love it.
yeah, his bride told me, and she was saying, oh, he's just obsessed. So we'll have to, yeah.
I
So
wonder
he's
what
probably,
level he's on.
I don't know.
They get
I don't
real.
know.
That's real. That's a territorial.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're not as good as us, you stay over there in the minor leagues
I
and
can't
play
even
over
imagine.
there.
Well, once I get all my joints healed and everything, I'm really anxious to get out there because I think it's something my husband and we want to do. And I got one of those little net things for Christmas last year, and the kids have gotten it out a couple of times. We've never really, thrown it
Yeah.
down and gone for it.
Yeah.
I really want to try this because I think I'll enjoy it. So
Hopefully we'll have
but with my free time.
yeah. That's what I was going to say. When are you going to play?
Yeah, I know, like I have any free time. But so the pickleball courts, that's good. And that's going to be at Garner's as well,
Uh-huh.
right? Okay.
Yeah. Everything's at
And-
Gardner on this grant.
Okay. Very good. Well, it's exciting. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming up. Baseball about to start. So when does baseball actually kick off? I mean,
They'll start
when does it start?
practicing if next week's March, they'll start practicing next week.
okay.
And then the games will be April and May.
Okay. No, next week's still February.
Okay, so they'll 2 weeks.
First week in March.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and then they'll start playing April and May, and then they'll go on Memorial Day weekend, and then whenever they come back from that is when All Stars.
Okay.
If you make All Stars, that's when all the All Star teams will start practicing for the tournaments.
Gotcha. Okay. And I mean, that just kind of helps me get it in my head with my grandsons too. My husband and I both are helping with the track now, and so we're going to be missing a lot of our grandsons' ball games, unfortunately.
And that starts.
Like
high school's probably out there.
They're practicing now.
Anytime they can get.
And yeah, they're just, as a matter of fact, he's assistant coach up here at Springfield, but their head coach had the kids come out and practice yesterday, and I'm like, really, on President's Day?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Huh.
So yeah,
That's
they're
good.
out there. They're out there kicking it. So, but yeah, we're into spring sports now, and then of course boys soccer. So you've got the baseball starting up. Do you have soccer too this spring?
Fall.
Fall. So you only do soccer in the fall.
Yes, and it's
Okay.
because we don't. The YMCA does the spring,
Okay.
so we
Okay.
we don't step on their toes.
What about the flag football? Is that only in the fall? 'Cause y'all do flag football too, don't you know?
No.
That's like a community group that does
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yes. And they were doing at one time they were doing spring and fall. So I'm not sure
Okay.
if they're
Yeah, I'm not really
if they're
sure
doing
either.
both. They're doing the flag football and they're doing the street hockey.
Oh, I had forgotten about street
Yeah.
hockey. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know when that comes up?
Honestly, I do
Yeah,
not.
I'll have to get them in here to talk
do
to them.
not.
Because
Yeah.
that's the thing. As far as the city's concerned, you guys have basketball and baseball and softball
And
and
football,
football
and cheer,
and cheer
and soccer,
and soccer, but soccer in the fall
and adult volleyball.
and adult volleyball. So what's the schedule on adult volleyball? I don't think we've ever talked about this.
September, October is when they play.
Okay.
Just get a team together and come
Okay.
in and bring your roster in and sign up, pay your money, and
Okay.
we'll see how many teams we have. We'll create a schedule for you. We give you a place to play in the center.
Oh, fun.
We bring the referee in, and
That's cool. So
they have,
how
they have
many
a good time.
how
I
many
think
teams did you have last year?
8 or 10.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I've got some friends. They're just they're
Yeah.
intense. They're intense.
yeah.
And we have a Hispanic congregation up at our church. And there's a lot of folks in the Hispanic community that are intense volleyball players.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And I had no idea. And what's been really kind of fun is the relationships that were built between the English congregation and the Spanish congregation over volleyball.
Yeah.
And I just love that. I just
Now,
thought that
our
was the coolest
volleyball-
thing.
Our outdoor volleyball courts, the Spanish community keep them things
Yeah.
covered.
Yes.
So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
But see, it breaks down barriers, man.
yeah.
That's what I love about that's sports just breaks it down.
Oh,
Just like
yeah.
we've got in our wrestlers that are going to state. We've got Hispanic kids and we've got, English, we've got Spanish speakers, English speakers. And I again, it just breaks down that boundary and it just gets that camaraderie going. I just love that. Sports are just universal. That's very cool. We're talking. I know I saw Danny and Janet. They've eased in, but we've still got about 5 minutes. We're not going before we go because as we sit down, we're like, what are we going to talk about? I knew we wouldn't have any problem. But the one question that I didn't ask you that we kind of pursed on while we had the mic still off, with the projected snow coming in.
Uh-huh.
What happens with the parks? And you and I talked about that. So do you want to address that? What happens with the parks? with the
Anytime
snow?
we've got snow or ice on the road in the
Mhm.
parks, because we don't have the equipment to keep that cleared off or
Right.
anywhere to put it, we close the parks.
Mhm.
Now, we've got some hills in the parks that everybody likes to sled on, and we're fine with that. We don't care.
Yeah.
It's just, you're going to have to park out front. And here's the reason for that. The reason for that is because unfortunately, the bad apples,
We talked about.
yes, the bad apples, we've left the gates open before,
Uh-huh.
and the bad apples that come in and decide to go everywhere and anywhere and do donuts.
Uh-huh.
And they get on our playing fields,
And they ruin
they
them.
get on our disc golf fairways, and they make a mess.
Hmm.
So,
I'm still cleaning up messes that my son Jedediah made in my yard because he was one of these little knuckleheads that liked to and spin
Yeah.
it around,
Yeah.
and we still
Yeah.
have ruts in our yard from his high school days of him rutting up our yard with his truck.
Yep.
And you're right. And you talk about making a mess.
Yep.
Oh, big mess.
Yep.
Big mess. So
I know
there you go.
it's frustrating to some folks, but our staff They work hard.
You better believe it.
They work hard to keep the parks nice and look the way they do.
And you can walk in if you want to hit one of the sleds. You can
Sure.
to get your sled out and go hit one of the nice hills.
We look
Just
at it
walk
like
into
this.
it.
You're getting double the exercise.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
might have to walk a little further, but that's okay.
There you go.
That's what Parks
It's
Farm's all
worth it.
about.
That's what it's all worth it. I love it. I love it. Well, very good. So we're all set for, spring will be here. I know we've got to get through this, hopefully, last blast of winter. I love snow days, but I think this is going to do me. I think I'll be like, okay, one more and I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's bring on some green leaves and.
But you don't know around here.
I know it. We could have more than this.
Remember that year it got real green and everything budded, and then April and bam,
boom,
we
boom.
got them 2 days of that hard frost.
I know, and that's one. I talked Amy Corbin. She hates winter. She hates winter so bad, and she just is like,
Yeah.
right now. She's ready for the green stuff, and we had 2 or 3 years while because they were one of our longtime sponsors, and there's a couple of years in a row where we had those late frosts because typically tax day's always been the cutoff here. You can put your tomato plants in the ground after April 15th. Not anymore.
Mm-mm.
We've had several late April hard freezes that just knocked them out.
You better wait till about May 15th now.
Yeah, you better much. Wait until Mother's Day now.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing for a lot of things when it comes to the tender plants. And get a greenhouse. Get your little greenhouse outside. And then you can go ahead and get them started, or let Amy start them for you, and then just go get them from her.
There you go.
And
There
that
you
way,
go.
because they're going to be so good.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, I think that's it. You got anything else you want to share with us before we?
No,
Finish
just
up?
come to the center and see us. If
Yep.
you're tired of being outside in all this cold weather, come on in. We got exercise equipment. We got walking tracks. Got some basketball courts.
Best deal ever for fitness.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a senior like me. I can't believe I'm a senior. But you got just great prices. You want to tell them what the prices are right now to join?
They vary a lot.
Yeah.
So, it just depends on if you're bringing a family or if you're not.
Right.
But as far as the seniors go, you can come in and walk for free if you just want to walk. But then if you want the exercise room also, it's $10 a month.
You can't beat that. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. And then
Great
we got
deal.
all different packages. Pam works at the front, and she's incredible. She does an awesome job. Everybody loves her. So just call
Very
down there.
good.
Call down there at the center
Go
and
play some basketball.
get the information you need. Come on in and join us.
There you go. And just y'all have pickup basketball a lot of the times, right? Do people just
Yeah,
playing all the time?
Yeah. Yesterday was our banquet, and I knew with President's Day, so we'll do a better job at scheduling that next year. But we got a lot of phone calls from the kids wanting to come in and shoot ball, and they couldn't because we had it set up for the banquet.
Oh
so
wow, yeah.
yeah, we didn't schedule that.
You're like, ooh,
Yeah,
forgot
as
about
well as we
that.
should have.
Yeah,
Because I always I want it to be open for the kids when they're out
Yeah,
of school, be able
sure.
to come in there and shoot some ball and
yeah.
have a place to go.
Very
So
cool. It's just a great place. You do a great job. You got a great staff.
great
Just
staff.
yes.
It's all about
amazing.
the staff.
They are
Yeah.
amazing. Everybody that works with parks, it is just we're so blessed in
Yeah.
Robertson County.
We get to come in here as a director, get to come in here and talk to you and, go to the media and do all that stuff and get out front and everything. But without who we have in our department,
Yeah,
it doesn't
it
work.
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. They're
Yep.
awesome. We appreciate y'all, and we appreciate everything y'all do
Yep.
for our community. We're just awesome. We just love it, and y'all are awesome. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Danny's pacing out there. Talk to him about pickleball while I do my ad. Talk to him. And Delta sold him out, man. She told me the other day he's a pickleball maniac. All right, I'm going to let Terry make his way out as we let Danny and Janet come on in here. But we're going to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. Anything that you want when it comes to the real estate market, if you're buying or selling, whatever side of the table you might be on, they can help you out. Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. If you're that person that's wanting to downsize, wanting to do something different, well, she has been specifically trained to help you do that. Barry came out of a marketing background. He was 17 years vice president of a media marketing company up in Nashville. You bring that expertise to the table and you're selling property, it's a game changer. To make sure, I know when you flip through real estate listings and things like that, some of them just don't catch your eye. It's because their videography and their photography is not what it needs to be. Or maybe they need some drone footage. Everybody wants to know what's around them these days. Well, he can take care of all those things. He can do those walkthrough tours, everything you need to package your property and make sure it's seen in the absolute best light. He is an expert at it. He is the broker here in Springfield. She is the agent up in White House. They took those 2 offices to bring you a new branch in the Exit Tree, Exit Prime Realty. She's been with Exit forever. When she came out of her original career, she was in radiology and wanted to go into real estate many, many years ago. She said, I looked for a company that checked all the boxes, and that's what Exit did. So they were with the Garden Gate team for a long time. They started a new branch in the tree a little over a year ago, I think. Exit Prime Realty is how you'll find them now. You can just Google either one of their names. Exit Prime Realty, you'll get unique Facebook pages, you'll get the web page. You can give Rebecca a call anytime, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy.robertsoncounty.com. They specialize in Robertson County properties because they're one of us. They've been in Cross Plains for nearly 30 years, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky because, like me, they are originally from Kentucky. They are also part of the board, the founding group that brought us the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, and they'll be with us on May 16th through 17th at Kilgore Park up in Cross Plains for the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. So just, save the date for that. You can sit down across the table from them and talk to them about anything you want to in regards to real estate, but of course you can do that anytime by just reaching out to them today. Reach out to Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. Her number, again, one more time, if I can find it real quick. I think I flipped off of it when I went looking for the dates of the Bluegrass Festival. But if you want to check in with Barry and Rebecca Richards, sellwithbecky.com, buy.robertscounty.com, or here's her number, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. And as I always say, please let them know that you turned that I need you on the radio. Hey, Danny! Hey, come on! That is hysterical. Oh, y'all are so funny. I'm sitting here just talking away. Took a little extra time with my sponsor, Barry, Rebecca. And I thought, well, surely they'll come walking in here in a minute. And y'all just kept visiting.
Well, Terry and I
kept visiting.
I hadn't seen each other in a while. We have a lot in common.
Well, and I sold you out about this pickleball thing because Nelda told me all about that. And I was like, really? Danny's playing pickleball.
Yeah, I could play
And so that was just so fun. She's like, oh, so you're not just playing pickleball. You're into pickleball is what your wife says.
Well, actually, I'm going to go play in a little while.
Oh, well, the reason why I bring that up is because, and Janet, you're kind of out of the camera shot there, baby. Come on over this. I love that sweatshirt. Wonder where can I get that sweatshirt?
At the museum gift shop.
Really? I got to get over there. But so when he was talking about the pickleball court up at Garner, and at the Garner Street Park, and when they're going to open, it's going to be a little on into the summer. They're trying to get the park itself opened in time for all the kiddos to do all their end of school stuff. And so anyway, I was like, well, Danny's going to want to know about that because he's into pickleball.
Terry's been keeping me up to speed.
You got to get on that microphone, brother. You know how those
Terry's
work.
been keeping me up to speed on that. And I told him, I said, we want to play indoors too. He said, well, you can play indoors at the center, and we can, but a lot of the people that I play with, we play in the evenings rather than the daytime.
Gotcha.
Some of us still work. And anyway, but we play when we can. We're kind of like gypsies. We play at the Church of Christ, Main Street Church of Christ here in Springfield.
Okay,
and then
I didn't know they were doing that there.
we also play at Cedar Hill Baptist Church. And then we also play at Summercrest, which is up in Ridgetop. You can play up there. That's outdoor. Then you can play at the Jolton Recreation Center. That's in Jolton. Am I leaving one out?
No, I think that's all the ones you go to.
I think that's
hysterical. That's funny. I had no idea.
Chris Hamsley. Do you know Chris Hamsley?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, Chris had said, you ought to come out and play pickleball. And I said, well, I've always wanted to play pickleball. This is about a year ago, year and a few months. And I said, yeah, okay, I've heard about it. I know a little bit about it. I don't know how to play. He said, well, you come on. We'll teach you and we'll show you. Sure enough, I went down to the Church of Christ.
Okay.
And, and of course, I'm a Baptist, and they let me come in. I had to sign a waiver. But that's a joke.
No, you don't.
That's a joke. But
CFC.
but anyway, started playing, and I enjoy it. It's great exercise. It's a lot of fun. It's a social game too, and it's mostly co-ed, so you're playing boys and girls, and it's fun. And a lot of times the girls beat the boys.
That's funny.
It is.
Well, Terry tells a story where his kiddo is really into pickleball, and they were playing, and this older woman, probably my age, comes up and probably sounded even older, and she's like, "Well, can I play?" And it was kind of like the, setting them up.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
She just owned them.
Okay.
Just owned
Oh, yeah.
them. Yeah.
Well, I got a similar story. I played up in Knoxville when I'm on the road. There's pickleball pavilions in Knoxville. I mean, that covers like acres with
That's
all these
hysterical.
courts and stuff. Anyway,
That's
I called them
hysterical.
up and said, I'd like to, I'm in town. I'm not a member, but, if you'd let me come play, I'd like to, a pickup game.
Yeah.
What they call it is open court. And they said, well, what level are you? And I just started, and I said, well, I'm kind of a beginner. And she said, well, we'll put you down at about 2.0 out of 5, 2.0.
Okay.
So anyway, and she said, well, now the beginners will play at 1 o'clock. And I said, okay, well, I can be there. Well, what I didn't think of at the time when I said that, of course, I stay on Central Time when I'm in Knoxville, and they're Eastern Time. Anyway, needless to say, I got there, and I was playing against the intermediates, and it was a bunch of older adults, and it was men and women. And anyway, I got out there, and I could tell right away that I was not in the class that I should be in. And I've got teamed up with this little old lady who looked like she was at least 90. Looked like she probably had gotten there on a walker and then threw it away and then started playing pickleball. Anyway, so I was teamed up with her, and we were getting creamed. And I said to her, I'm so sorry that I'm playing so badly. And she said, that's okay, honey. You're doing the best you can. And that's my pickleball.
I love it.
So-
I love it. I'm wanting to get into it. I haven't really yet, but I'm going to.
Recovering
so.
from this knee deal. But you're on the mend.
I think they finally figured it out.
Well,
so,
I'm glad.
Yeah, I told them. I said, don't let my let me just address this real quick. Do not let my experiences with my right knee freak you out, because it was very unusual.
Yeah.
And so, because my left knee did fabulous, and I've done great with all my joint replacements. I don't want anybody to live in pain, because they're like, "Did you hear what happened with LaVern?"
Oh gosh, yeah.
It was just freak.
One
It
of
was
those
just a freak
things.
thing,
Yeah.
And there was a piece of the bonding agent and this, I was loopy when Dr. Roderick explained this to me. But there was a piece of the bonding agent that had seeped out of the joint and had hardened. And it had caused this irritation that was causing those recurring hematomas. Well, if you were at the Isaiah 117 dinner, they had to wheel me out in an office chair because I couldn't walk because my knee blew up so bad.
Oh, Lord.
And everybody was like, what is wrong with her?
Yeah.
I mean, emergency room visits, it's been, since like October, it's been a journey. But we think it finally ended last Thursday. And Miss Nelda took care of me. That was the best. I was so surprised. I was like, oh.
Yeah, well,
she's wonderful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
She's a
that.
wonderful
She's taking
nurse,
care of
so.
a lot of Robertson County patients
Yeah.
over in Nashville at Centennial Southern Joint Replacement Center.
Yes. Southern Joints. I love
Southern
them.
Joint,
And this was just a really weird thing. I kept telling her about it. I said, I think really what's going on with my knee is more about the doctors discovering something, because it's something about this bonding agent they're using that I kind of that expanding foam that kind of comes to mind. I'm like, I wonder if it's like that expanding foam. It just like, whoosh, goes out,
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing what they're able to do. How they can put us boomers back together
Ain't
again.
that the truth?
We're like the Bionic Man. Remember when we would watch the Bionic Man and
do.
Bionic Woman, and we can build him. We can build him better.
I got new knees, new hips, and a new shoulder.
There you go.
I cause a stir when I go through the airport. It's fun. They're like, good
beep,
land.
beep.
Piece parts. Anyway, it's all good.
All
right. Why are y'all here?
Why are we here?
Why are we here, guys? What are we talking about?
Oh, we're going to talk about the stories of us. We've got a project coming up, an event coming up.
Title.
And I didn't come up with it. Janet and her committee came up with it, and that's what they've come up with. And Janet, tell us all about it.
So the Stories of Us is kind of a thing where we're going to have at the museum, and it's going to be like you're going to step back in time.
I love it.
There'll be different stations. There'll be 8 of them set up around the museum, and so we're going to guide you through, and as they come through, the people portraying those are going to come to life.
I love
There
it.
you go.
And so we've got a postal worker, of course, because we are the museum.
Yep. And it was
We've
the
got
post
spinning
office.
and weaving downstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll let you touch on who they are.
Okay.
And we've got the whiskey distilleries, the Civil War surgeons, farming in Robertson County, the story of the dark fire tobacco, sports, and Wessington.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is going to be so good.
Well,
And it's
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
When is this?
this is Saturday, March 15th from 6 to 8, and you will also tickets are $15, and that includes a full meal as well.
Yeah.
6
Barbecue.
to 8 p.m.
Mhm.
Good.
Yep.
Okay, because I'm an assistant track coach now, and so that's just really messed up my spring Saturdays. But that's late enough.
Mhm.
I should be able to get there.
Well,
So,
do come.
good.
It'll be fun. It's
I
gonna
would.
be
This
fun.
is right down my alley.
Yeah.
I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we've got
Yeah.
a really good lineup. Chris Hamsley, I'd mentioned
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
my pickleball partner. He's going to play the 1915 Springfield U.S. Post Office worker, which that'll be fun.
Fun.
And of course, Chris, he's a natural comedian, by the way,
Mhm.
and he'll be dressed up as a 1915 postal employee. And of course, that's when when the post office opened, which would later become the museum.
Mhm.
And then after that, we got Denise Roston Haley, who is a spinning and weaving expert. She knows all the history of it. She knows how to do it. She has her own looms and things like that, and she's going to be demonstrating that. And then we've got the whiskey distilleries, and Kathy Doris, who's done a lot of research on that. And she's also a fine actress, too. She's going to be talking about all the different whiskey distilleries we had in Robertson County. We had up to 50
so
50
many.
distilleries scattered all over Robertson County because of the good water and limestone we had here. You've heard that story.
Mhm.
And then we got Chris and Lynn Link. Now, I happened upon them because I contacted some folks, and they said that we needed we wanted a Civil War historian to come and be a part of this because the Civil War is part of our history. Anyway, but I found out about Chris and Lynn Link, and this is a spin that they do, or story that they tell. They portray Civil War surgeons. He plays a Civil War surgeon, and she is his helper, and that's his wife in real life. But they tell about battlefield medicine during that time and all the good and the bad and the ugly that entailed.
Horrifying stuff.
And they
some of it, yeah.
and they even have a horse-drawn ambulance, a recreation of
gosh.
seriously, and that'll be parked out in front of the museum during the
That'll
event.
be cool.
That'll be very cool.
Yeah.
And then farming in Robertson County, you got Bernard's Farm. That's Julie and Steve Bernard.
Yes, yes,
Everybody
yes.
knows them, and that great place they have up there in Orlinda.
Love them.
And then the story of dark fire tobacco. That's Alan Hurd from Hale and Cotton, who knows. Good gosh, he could probably write books about the dark fire tobacco in Robertson County. Then we got a special surprise for sports. We're not going to say who that is yet. And then we got John Baker, the legendary John Baker, who wrote the book Washingtons of Wessington, and he'll be talking about the Wessington plantation and the history of that place.
Yeah, have tried to get him on a couple of times. His work schedule just won't let him come
John
in. He
is a
just
busy man.
He's a busy dude. I had him in one time when we first started doing the show, and just such an interesting story. His story of how he discovered his heritage through the Wessington plantation. I mean, in that book, oh my gosh, it is just a treasure. It is a Robertson County treasure.
You could write you could film a movie on his story.
You really could. I expect it to one day happen because, I mean, it's just amazing.
Janet's worked very closely on expanding. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we expanded.
Talk on that microphone for me. Yeah.
When I came on, I wanted to expand Wessington to tell the rest of the story. So I worked alongside John for several years.
That's
to
awesome.
Get the information and get the exhibit up.
It's so cool. I mean, it's just a fascinating story. I mean,
It's
it's
a wealth
just
of knowledge.
yes, and just the whole story of how he discovered his connection. And it's just fabulous. But what a great night, guys. That's going to be just wonderful.
Well, it's something a little bit different, but
Yeah.
then it's up our alley too.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
it's history and it's
For sure.
performing arts. It's
Yeah, it's just everything. Because that's how Danny and I got to talking. I was trying to track. We got Pride and Prejudice coming up, and so we're trying to track all that down. But that's not until next month.
Yep.
Last
2 weekends of the month, in fact, last of March.
But and so we went, trying to get them to. He's like, well, no, we'll just come in. I was like, well, good. And this is really coming up quickly. So the date again is March 15th.
Yep. March 15th.
March 15th. So that's
And you can buy your tickets online.
You can buy them online, or you can come by the gift shop and buy them there.
Do you have a limit? Are they going to sell out?
Yes.
Okay.
I have limited tickets, and I cut ticket sales off a week in advance.
Okay.
Just to prepare for food.
Just so you can may take care of the dinner. And that's the St. Patrick's Day weekend, just for the record.
Yep.
That St. Patrick's Day weekend. That is spring break weekend.
Yep.
Is coming up.
Yep.
So that'll be cool.
Yep.
But I've got some a family going to be in town that weekend from Michigan.
Ah.
So I'm just kind of in my head getting all my stuff scheduled because I would love to see this. I would
Okay.
absolutely love to see
Well,
this.
it's
So
gonna
I'm
be
gonna.
fun, I know that. And
So-
and it's not a stuffy affair.
No.
It's we try and do things casual, don't we, Janet?
We're laid back.
Yeah. Well.
So what kind of a dinner are we having? Do you think? Have you decided yet? Or
Well, yeah,
is it
we're gonna
be a
have
sit down, or is it going to be
No, it'll-
kind of grab and go, or how's it going to be?
It will be sit down just so you don't get
Okay.
anything on the pretty new floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to be walking around with a
No.
barbecue sandwich.
Yeah, no, but the barbecue actually it's interesting is furnished to us by Dwayne Sword, who also was our general contractor for the floors and the painting and everything else that we've been doing
That's
up
hysterical.
at the museum, or Janet's been doing, by the way.
Mhm.
But he is a almost. I don't know if you can call a barbecue cook a gourmet barbecue cook, but that he is. He cooks it the old-fashioned, slow way of cooking pork, and so it's going to be delicious. I've had it before, had it several times, and it's as good a barbecue as I've ever had in my life. So, but anyway, and then we got what else we got to go with that?
I think we've decided potato salad,
There you go.
beans, and we'll have a dessert, and
Yeah.
then we'll have a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be a nice meal, and it'll be fun, and we'll be able to show off the new floor.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
I've got to
Yeah.
get in there. I apologize. I haven't been in there as much as I would like to be.
You're a
Just-
busy lady.
It has been this last year has been just kind of cray, but that's good. I mean, I like busy, but it's been just a lot going on. But we're just kind of, as I was talking with Terry earlier, we're at that point. Yeah, we're gonna have some snow days here. We're gonna get on it, and then we're gonna slide right into spring, and things are gonna start budding. It's gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna be exciting here in Robertson County.
Yeah.
And you get to be a part of it. So, very good. He was, you may know something about this. He, because I tease him, call him Hollywood, because he was in that movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And they said
He never lets me forget that either. by the
well,
way.
and then they said the museum was the police station for it, right?
Yep.
And so, have you heard anything about when that movie's coming out or anything? The
No.
story, I don't know what, I
haven't
can't
heard
remember.
anything.
The Life of Us or something. I can't remember the name of that one.
No.
But Ride is out, and you can watch it. We talked about that.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of movies here in Springfield. It's
Well,
pretty cool stuff.
Back in what was it? The summer of this past summer, we had another movie that was filmed entirely in the museum.
In the basement.
Called in the downstairs portion of the museum, and the name of the movie, and it was filmed locally, and it was written locally
Okay.
by Jeff Dabin, who is here in Springfield, and he's an actor, writer, producer, director, etc. And anyway, he wrote this screenplay, and the name of the movie is "The Martians Are Coming on Monday," and it's all about this band of disparate people who've been following. They have this conspiracy theory about people from outer space coming to the
Nice.
Earth. Yes, yeah.
I need to
anyway,
see
so
this.
it's pretty cool. And anyway, so they filmed it downstairs, and this band of people get together, and they decide they're going to hole up in a museum.
Okay.
So they're using the museum is actually
Sure.
a huge part of the whole story.
Yeah.
So that's going to be coming out sometime, maybe this spring, I hope. Anyway.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. So
I say that's something I can show my kiddos
Je-
because that's a locally produced film.
I'll get Jeff to come back with me, and we'll talk about that.
That's fun.
Yeah, when we know
That's
more
fun.
about it.
I want to see that.
Oh, I do too.
The Martians are coming on Monday.
They
Uh,
they filmed over several
I
days.
like the title.
And
That's
I-
just
and
fun.
I babysat them right
Yeah.
there at the museum, and they were some pretty good actors in it too. So it'll
That's
be
so
interesting.
fun.
Yeah.
That will be fun to see. See, we just have all kinds of cool stuff going on right
we-
here,
we
and just fun stuff.
don't know
and
what we're going to be doing next, do we, Janet?
No, I don't.
Very good. So, talk to people about the hours and becoming a member of the getting a museum membership and all of those things. Mine has lapsed, I think. I need to update mine. I usually do it at Christmas, and I didn't get that done at Christmas, so I need to get that done. So talk to us all about those things.
So we have been closed, if you've been following us on Facebook, for the whole month of January, and it feels like the whole month of February at this point. We were supposed to have our grand reopening tomorrow, but I think we're pushing it out till the following
Well, 'cause
Wednesday. due to
maybe
We
snow.
don't
Yeah.
know.
What- Should we just go ahead and formally announce that?
I would go ahead.
Yep.
What is the date?
Just
Yep.
push it off until
Yeah.
next week
Yep.
because we are supposed to be snow's coming in. The way it's timing, guys, I think it's a sure thing. I
was
really
gonna
do.
say, I think this afternoon is what I
Cold
was just
enough,
telling him.
1 to 3 inches, and
Yeah.
1 inch in Robertson County is like a
Shut you down.
blizzard in North Dakota.
That's just it.
So, there
Just
we go.
push it off till next week.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
maybe
that's-
we can add in a soft reopening that night for some people who can't make it out during the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
okay.
But our hours are typically Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 4. And to become a member, you just can sign up online or come by. It's $15 for an individual, $25 for a family, and it gets you admission to the museum the whole year for
and
free.
advanced tickets and things
Advance
like
tickets
that.
and 15% off your gift shop purchases.
Yes. That's
And-
that's usually when I re-up it because I got to do my shopping and all that kind of stuff. And
And we do
It
have
just-
another cool thing coming up in partnership with Terry. We have got a small story walk trail on the Greenway now that we will be ribbon cutting on soon.
okay, explain that to me. That sounds fabulous.
That's Janet. Janet, that is her baby.
So there's 8 of them, and we did different parts of the history of the county.
Okay.
And so we will interchange them a few times a year, so that way they kind of stay fresh. But yeah, they're right as you cross where the duck pond and stuff is. They'll be right over there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
And
were-
so, okay, because that's going to be something that I'm going to absolutely want to go and,
Yeah.
and see.
Yeah, it's
okay.
nice. It's very well done. Very
Okay.
well done. And
So are they open? Are they open? Not yet.
Nope.
Or so.
we just proofed everything, I think, the other day. So
Okay.
should be opening soon. We'll announce the ribbon cutting material.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So see, I mean, it just kind of just y'all coming together on this today. We talked
Oh,
pickleball. We
and-
got all these things tied into the parks.
I got one more thing.
Okay. One more thing. Go for it.
One
We've
more
still got a
thing.
good 5 minutes here, so
Okay.
go for it.
Well, last night we hosted Belle Stewart. You've had Belle on your
Yes.
show.
Wonderful.
Isn't she fun?
Yes.
The new executive director, Will Oak, and of course she's also involved in Community Spirit. She produced Smoke and Spirit this past fall for those folks. And anyway, we've got to know her, and she is a singer, songwriter, storyteller,
Yeah.
and writes plays. She's got a play coming up. I know she probably
Yeah, we
talked
talked
about
a
it on
little
your
bit
show
about that.
Sayer that's coming up. Opens February 28th. We're going to go to the opening night, but she spoke last night for our February Historical Society meeting. Every month, usually on the third Monday of every month, we have a Historical Society meeting where our members can come, and also the general public can come and tour the museum and see the museum and listen to the different topics that we have. And this year, we've already got every topic lined up for the rest of the year.
Oh wow.
And I can tell you all about them right now if you'd
Okay,
like for
let's
me to
hear it.
do
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. We're
Okay.
good. That'd
All
be
right.
great.
In March, we have Tanya Staggs. Now, she's the executive director for Craig Font State Historic Site in historic Castellian Springs. Tanya will tell the history of Craig Font, one of the most popular historic sites in Sumner County and also in Tennessee. It's a really neat place, and she's going to be talking about that. In April, the Historical Society goes on the road. Sometimes we'll do this. We'll go to a historic place in
Location,
Robertson County. Well, this year this time we're going to go to the Ridgetop Railroad Museum, which opened up, I guess, last year or so, hosted by their museum director and founder, Tony Reasoner. That'll come up in April. In May, we have legendary local musician, singer, and beach music icon, Steve Gerald, who will tell his life story and recount his long career in the music business. Okay, that's
And
coming
long career on these airways.
Yes, and a long career on
Yes.
these airways. He
Yes.
actually was on his show out here back when he used to be out here.
Mm-hmm.
In June, we got some guy named Danny Atchley who will be telling us about the history of the infamous but mysterious White Oak Fishing Club, whose motto, "What happens at White Oak stays at White Oak." The club was founded by Springfield men in 1925 who boarded a train and traveled to Houston County
Uh-huh.
in Tennessee and stayed on a week-long fishing trip down there. And then the group, the ones that have joined the club over the years have been going back for 100 years, and this year we celebrate our 100th anniversary of that first trip. We've been going every year for 100 years, and most of these men that go are from Springfield and Robertson County.
That's hysterical.
It is hysterical. We have a 34-acre fishing camp down there that we
Oh, my
maintain,
goodness.
and it's a lot of fun. So
Oh, my
we'll be
goodness.
talking about that.
That's so fun.
Yeah, in July, we have Andrew Spicer. He's a historian with Fort Negley Visitor Center who will tell us the history and how important Fort Negley was during the Civil War and the Battle of Nashville. And then in August, another Civil War subject, and we're going to have Lynn and Chris Link come back, the Civil War surgeons.
Right.
They'll come back, and they'll tell the history of battlefield medicine during the war and bring their horse-drawn ambulance to the museum once again. In September, we go on the road once again, this time to Shade Tree Farm in Adams, where our hosts Tom and Sarah Head will tell us the history of their farm and the story of their popular orchard. And then in October, this will be closing out our monthly Historical Society meetings for 2025. We have Pulitzer Prize runner-up and Native American author Margaret Burble, who's authored several books with a Robertson County and Nashville connection. And her first book that she ever wrote, Maud's Line, was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize for fiction in 2016. And she's supposed to be really, really good.
Oh, how cool.
How cool.
Yeah, very
about that?
good.
What about
I
that
love that.
lineup?
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that cool?
I need more hours in my day.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Y'all have so many cool things that it's just so many good stuff. So how can we follow you and find out about all these good things?
You can follow us on Facebook
There
at
you
the
go.
Robertson County Historical Society, or you can find us online at Robertson County Historical Society.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you can join and be a member and go to the museum anytime. That's typically what I do. I've got just my membership, but $25. That's it. And you can take
For
your
a family.
friends
For a
for an
family.
entire family, you guys. And I can bring guests in,
Yep.
right, with that. I forget because I've got my family coming in that weekend. That would be a fun thing to bring them out
And
to.
you know
I think
this,
they would
we have
enjoy
a
it.
world-class gift shop.
Yes,
It is.
Full
our
of
gift shop is just
merchandise.
fabulous.
Thank you.
That lovely sweatshirt that she's wearing. And I mean, just when I'm looking, and I can just tell you, I have bought so many things for my kiddos there. Probably the most popular thing I've ever gotten them, though, is the picture of the courthouse.
Mm.
They all have that in
Yeah.
their office. They all just really treasure that because that's so iconic.
Yep. I
And
agree.
that's probably their hands down favorite thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, just little, when around Christmas, stocking stuffers and knickknacks and the things that you can, Christmas ornaments and all kinds of great hats and shirts and the stuff, the history stuff, the fascinating history of the distillery just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
Yep.
And it is just very interesting. And I don't know, it's
thank
just so much interesting history.
We have so much good history in Robertson
really do.
County, and we got so many groups like Community Spirit that's really involved in that and what they're doing down there with Spirit and Smoke, et cetera. Of course, we're all about history as far as what we're doing, but we do, and we've got such great arts organizations. That's where I'm
Right.
going with that. Community Spirit, Willow Oak Center for Arts and Learning, which is a jewel.
Yes, it
And
is.
then you've got the Robertson County Players, which are always, they're doing 4 plays a year.
I know.
And then you got us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the 4 nonprofits that trust
Covering
me.
the arts.
You go to Clarksville, you go to Gallatin, you go to Hendersonville, whatever. You're not going to have 4 organizations like our 4 organizations.
They
And-
cover the arts in such a beautiful way.
I agree.
And we will be talking to him about Pride and Prejudice. It is coming up.
Yep.
And tell him one more time the title of this, Stories of Us.
The Stories of Us is coming up Saturday, March 15th from 6 to 8. You can grab your tickets online or on the gift shop.
Very good. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having
so
us.
much. Thank you guys for being here. And get ready for Snowmageddon tomorrow. Will Ryan Martin make it? I don't know. He's on the schedule. They're supposed to have the mayor and alderman meeting tonight, depending on weather. I think they'll probably get it in before the weather comes in, the way it's looking. I'm planning on being here, so I hope you will be as well. We'll try to give you a roads report when I come in, but thank you for joining us. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a great day.
Thank you. when the melody's been written.